So it's an interesting point. So when flying the drone, like, do you kind of look on your tablet or phone or whatever, and then say, "Hey, oh, I got to make some changes here," and you stop, move things around again? Is it an iterative process a little bit?
Yeah, and I'm not a photographer nor am I a pilot, but I watch photographers and pilots, and yeah. And the hardest part too is every camera is different. So it blew me away that I would watch one person with one drone, say it was manufacturer one or model one, and then you have a different pilot find the same scene with different camera settings, a different camera type used on manufacturer or model two, and the results are so different. And I think that's that part of knowing your basics really well, knowing exposure. I mean, as silly as that is, you could give me the world's best camera. And if I don't know my exposure settings, I'm going to produce a very terrible map. I could give you, who understands the camera principles better, and I could give you an inferior camera. You're going to produce a better map. Same everything else applied. It's just you have to
Hmm.
know that equipment.
What's the name of the? I remember seeing it, and I forget the name, but the model of the light. It's like your
The Nomad?
flagship. Is that what I
Yeah.
think? It's the Nomad. Okay,
Yeah. The
so
Nomad 360, I think, is the one that we saw last year at
yeah,
Acer.
that's right. So in terms of height, what's the thought process there?
It's such a good question, and I think for shorter scenes, for small scenes like crime scenes and things like that, that light in particular goes up 8.5 feet tall. So that's really nice because if you are doing work in the scene, you don't get blinded. But yeah, we go full height, and then it just comes down to how large is the scene. So when we go into like a crime scene, if it's a single body, single victim, we have a color high CRI. It's a high color rendition index. You can put that on there. The colors are beautiful. It's great visuals, but that would be lights nice and high. They can kind of aim down a little bit more and kind of like really like provide us some really phenomenal kind of coloration of the scene. As that scene gets bigger, it's not so much the height that's as important because the height's super important, especially when there's vehicles and things like that or obstructions. You want to go higher, but then it's also putting the angle, not quite as low, if you will. It's just a more of a projecting outwards, and that's what happened in our really large accident scene. We did it, and we found that as good as it was, it does tend to wash out a little bit, at distance, and
Hmm.
then we came up with ways of remedying that. So
Okay.